underneath that hat that Shim's got on.
I have a head full of hair.
Yeah,
He had some hair. He had some hair.
Rod been dying here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you got to keep that gray out.
My bad, I ain't mean to drive you.
You doing the same thing.
Right.
No, I ain't
We're
got
joined by
that
Hall
yet.
of Famer Rod Woodson. He's got a couple grays coming
Yeah,
in there. Yeah.
No, you got the, what's up with the
the
glasses?
Beijing. Oh, you talking about these right here?
Yeah, Urkel.
But I need these. I can't. You know, these haters was getting up on me too quick, Rod. So I needed something I can see them coming from a mile away.
A little bit smaller, man. A little bit smaller,
This is me.
man.
I'm a big dude.
The glasses can't be big, too.
What you want me like? What you want me like?
Come on, Shay.
You want me a spectacle?
His nick, we had Shay. 9 was another name we called him because I was 8, Ray was 7, he was 9.
Oh.
That was our numbers adding up, so I was 26, 8.
You
So-
Woody.
They called me Woody, they called me Paco, they called me a lot of names.
Yeah, a lot of them. We can't.
Welcome back to Undisputed, Rod. Let's talk about a position that you know very well, cornerback. Richard Sherman was introduced as a 49er yesterday. He signed a 3-year, $27 million deal, but it has a lot of incentives. Sherman represented himself and has been criticized for the deal. But yesterday, he defended his contract. Let's take a listen.
The thing I'm most frustrated about is that, you know, all the people that were like so high on bashing this deal refuse to bash the agents that do awful deals every year. I mean, there are agents out there that are doing, you know, $30 million fully guaranteed deals that look like $50 million deals. When the guy gets cut after 2 weeks or after a year and the guy only makes $5 million of a $50 million contract, and nobody sits there and bashes the agent. You don't hear any Forio writing any articles about it. I mean, the kid from Philly, I think Brenham or something, it's a 1-year, $6 million deal, but to everybody else, it's a $40 million deal. There's nobody to bash it because nobody's even paying attention to most of these agents and their deals.
Rod, did Sherman make a mistake representing himself?
You know, I get the idea behind it because he's an older player. He's turning 30 next week. He's had this one major injury. Other than that, he's played every single game. And I get that he doesn't want to pay the 4% or 3% or whatever it is to the agent. But to do a deal where you're getting $27 million deal, 3 years, and only the signing bonus is basically guaranteed. It says $7 million guaranteed, but it's really hard to see that. It's really 24. Everything else is if you stay healthy, if you play this way, if you do this, if you have playing time. That's a lot of writing all on yourself. Right. Really, I know he believes in himself. I know he has a lot of confidence. He has a lot of swagger.
Yes.
But you're an older player, and if you get hurt one more time, you're done. Right. So I just think an agent wouldn't have had all those incentives. They would have had some incentives, and it would have been based maybe more guarantees. I just think players have to sometimes step away from themselves.
Yes.
I know he's a smart guy. He went to Stanford. I get it. But sometimes you got to step away from yourself and say, you know what? I can have somebody else who can represent me, and I can remove myself because he's been doing this for a living. He understands a little bit better than I do, and maybe he has a better relationship with John Lynch than I do. And I think that would have given him a better opportunity to have a better deal.
For me, Richard believes he did a great deal. And Skip, that's all that matters. Do I think he should have had an agent? Woody, I agree with you. Absolutely. There's a reason why there have agents. You wouldn't let your agent go play football for you because that's not what he does.
Yep.
But you're trying to do what he does. Here's the thing, Skip. You only negotiated with the 49ers. Now, why didn't you just wait? You could have waited 3 more days. Free agency hit on Wednesday the 14th. You signed this deal basically like you said. They called you like 3 minutes after you got released. But you're only dealing with them. I want to see anybody else interested in Richard Sherman. Like you said, prior to this, I had no injuries. Now, Seattle made it abundantly clear. They tried to release you, tried to trade you the year before. So it looks like to me they're trying to get all these strong personalities out of the locker room. They're going to remake this team. They're going to make it in the image of Russell Wilson. But Skip, I have a criminal justice degree. And what they tell us in law is that any man that represents himself has a fool for a client. I don't want to hear what they're going to tell me. My agent's going to tell me certain things, but certain things he's going to leave out of the equation because I don't need to hear just in case I have to go back there or I have to go there. Because they're going to tell you all the things that you can't do and you slow it down, you're not this, you're not that. I don't need to hear that. Just tell me the good stuff and how much I'm going to get. But I do, and I agree. All these deals, they look pie in the sky. Man, that dude got a 5-year, $115 million. Yeah. But when you get through the 5, unless you got a Kirk Cousins deal, everybody else's deal is bump. Unless you got that deal. Because it says fully, Fully guaranteed. So all that other stuff, Skip, is just window dressing. And I agree, but he He says, I got $5 million guaranteed. Basically, he got $3 million to sign his name. Now, if he's healthy by November the 11th, which is the last, that's another $2 million. And he says, well, I believe I'm going to play every game because I played every game up until this point. But Skip, so many things can go wrong. Somebody jumps over the pile, you standing around, there goes the ankle, there goes the knee. That's just a lot to riding on yourself. I get the Pro Bowls, but when you start talking about playing time, what happens if you get a big lead? What happens if you get blown out? So those things factor in.
So I do admire Richard Sherman for trailblazing because this was a gutsy move on his part. And he's trying to show the rest of the union this is possible. You can use the union people to help you negotiate. So I get that because that's breakthrough now.
Yes.
He's trying to break through in his way, the way Kirk Cousins did with fully guaranteed. He's trying to show you you can save, I think it's 3% is the maximum. So you can save 3%, which is a lot of percent when you get up in those big numbers.
Right.
But in the end, the harder I look at this, he sold himself way short.
Yes.
And you know what happened? This is human nature. But in his Players Tribune piece that he posted yesterday, he said that the 49ers called him 3 minutes after the news hit the wire that he had been dumped by Seattle. That within 3 minutes, he gets a call from Kyle Shanahan saying, you should come here tonight. And he said they were in Las Vegas at a Players Association meeting, and that he and his fiance threw their stuff together and ran to the Vegas airport to catch the next flight to San Jose to get to have dinner with both Kyle and John Lynch. Okay, so you know what happens when you get dumped for the first time in your life, and it hurts, man.
Yeah.
You know, right?
The next woman that looks really good.
Right. Especially if she's whispering sweet nothings in your ear,
well, I
right?
would do you so much better than that last lady did.
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
But he said they just wowed him that night. They had the greatest talk about schemes and we need you, and he just committed right away that night.
Well, it's the same scheme that they had in Seattle.
Right.
It's the same, but he gets to play against the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Twice
That
a year.
helped.
That's
That
the key. I think he wants to give it back to his old team.
Okay.
To let them know they made a mistake.
For me, Skip, I can see if he's going in the draft and you want to do it yourself because you're slotted, unless you're a quarterback. And the players normally get 5 to 10% more than what the previous player got in that very slot, like I said, unless you're a quarterback. When you're a free agent, you can negotiate what are the markets willing to bear. Well, if you only negotiate with one team, how do you know what the market will bear? If you waited this long, I mean, a lot of guys wait their entire life to be free agent. This was the first time Richard Sherman was a free agent.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you didn't want to fly. Maybe you didn't want to go all these places. But you can have an agent, and he can handle that and says, okay, Richard, we got this team, this team, this team, and this team.
Bidding against each other.
Yeah.
You could have.
Now, he could have been comfortable because you got to remember, he went to Stanford. He's in the Bay. He's back in the Bay
That
again,
works.
and he gets to play against his old team. So you got to remember, when you get cut, did you play against Denver again?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's in the playoffs. Remember,
You got with that sideline.
Without a sideline. But anytime that you get cut by your old team,
hurts,
and you can play against that team again when you go to another team, you're there.
Yeah.
You are playing against them. I remember the first time I played against the Steelers, I was excited to play against those guys because they cut me, and I was going to let them know that they did wrong. So I think, yes, he could have got a better deal. But for him, I think he's coming back to the Bay, and he's going to play against these guys twice a year to let them know they made a mistake cutting me.
Here's the thing. You know, Colonel Sanders sold the original recipe for $2 million. He thought that was a good deal.
Yeah.
Skip, was that a good deal?
No.
You know, Microsoft had a bid on the table to buy Yahoo for $48.5 billion. They sold it for $4 billion. At the time, they said that's not a good deal. Do you think $4 billion is a better deal than $48 billion? It all depends, Skip. Richard Sherman believes he knocked it out of the park.
But he immediately declared himself. He acknowledged, I'm damaged goods.
Right.
I'm an X factor. So I'm going to let them factor that into my lack of guarantees. I'm going to have to prove to them my Achilles is going to be okay. Well, that's just wrong. The other teams, if you'd gone on the market and create an auction for Richard Sherman,
absolutely.
they wouldn't have cared about that because they look what Sue is doing right now. He's the big name left out there in the market. What's he doing? He's taking trip after trip after trip, and he's building where people are going to get desperate. We're kind of have him.
Yeah,
have
he
Sue.
still can play. He still
Yeah.
can play. And I get it.
He still
Sue
can play.
he's not injured. Right. Richard Sherman's coming off that Achilles injury. But
And he wasn't fast in the beginning.
But we saw Brent Grimes. Brent Grimes had an Achilles injury. He came back and went to 3 straight Pro Bowls, starting immediately after he had the injury. So we have some history with this injury in cornerbacks, and they're at the exact same age. For me, I'm going to try to get as many people bidding on the situation as I possibly can. Look, yeah, you want to prove to your team. I can prove something better to them that they gave up. Just be successful. Me winning that, I don't care if I didn't play against the Broncos. Me going and winning the Super Bowl, leading the team in receptions, that was good enough for me. And win the Super Bowl, oh yeah, Shay can still play.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. Nah, that ain't how I do business. I ain't gonna break up with somebody and then go try to date her best friend to get back at her. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Hey, I'm good over here. Oh, Shay, we good over here with it.
You can see clearly now.
Yeah.
With those glasses.
Yeah, I see real good. Yeah, Skip. I see you. Yep, I beat you down again. You
George, you see what he had to do? He had to lift his glasses up and look with his real vision.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I beat you down.
Do you have the giant sunglasses that go over top of the glasses?
No. I just had my lenses with medicine put in my sunglasses.
You know what they called Tiger Woods when he was at Stanford his first year? They called him Urkel because he had on giant glasses. They called him Urkel, so maybe you got some Tiger Woods in you.
But Tiger had them, them teeth.
Yeah.
Saber-tooth tiger, what they called it.
Well, John Gruden